Well, as I've said so many times, Allison, that the virus kind of decides whether or not it's going to be appropriate to open or not.
美国晋升全球新冠肺炎疫情最惨地区，如果川普仍执意5月开工，美国不排除要发这样东西。
Can you imagine a time where Americans carry certificates of immunity?
That's possible. I mean, it's one of those things that we talk about when we want to make sure that we know who the vulnerable people are and not.
对拥有新冠肺炎抗体的人发放免疫卡不是不可能，只是早知如此，何必当初
At the very beginning of this pandemic, it was the federal government that had the sole ability to do the testing and made it very difficult for private labs, for university labs to make their own tests based on certain regulatory hurdles.
分析美国疫情失控、检测不足成了主因。事实上，许多美国私人实验室早在1月时就努力做出检验试剂，却碍于联邦政府的规定不能使用。专家批评这是决策错误。
When we suddenly hit the point where we were looking at China and seeing what was going on there, what we needed was extremely aggressive leadership. We've got to move fast because otherwise we're going to run into a problem.
白宫防疫慢半拍，《纽约时报》也撰文披露，川普多次忽视警告，要负很大的责任。
Well, according to the New York Times, it was the third week of February when the government's top public health experts concluded that aggressive social distancing measures would need to be implemented. But that flight from India back to Washington was a momentous one. During that flight, the president grew furious at watching the stock market crash.
内容提及，川普在美股大跌后只担忧经济，甚至怪罪公卫专家乱讲话，吓到股民。紧接着记者会不断强调，一切都在掌控中。尽管如此 ，CNN 最新民调仍显示，认为川普防疫处理得当的仍有49%，处理不好的占48%。接下来就看川普如何力挽狂澜，避免死亡数快速攀升。TVBS 新闻综合报道。
网上看新闻，请下载 TVBS App 或直接按订阅 TVBS 新闻频道。